I want to get to this story because I saw this break just a little while ago this afternoon. Yet another warning about a measles outbreak, or at least an infected person in a crowd. And this one was big because it happened at the Bell Center. And I want to understand, because in trying to make sense of this and what you should do next, we're told this happened March 3rd between 5:30 p.m. and midnight. It was during the Canadiens game against the Buffalo Sabres. Someone with a confirmed case of measles who was unvaccinated was there. They list the section he was in, and also where he purchased food and came in direct contact with people as well. So Dr. Chris Labos is on the line. Chris, I'm trying to understand how this works here. If you were there and you came into contact potentially with this person, what do you need to do?
So it sort of depends what your vaccination status is, or whether you're somebody who had measles before. If you are fully vaccinated, you are probably not going to get sick. I mean, the vaccines are not 100% effective, but they are essentially 100% effective. If you received 2 doses of the measles vaccine, which was the standard regimen after 1996, then extremely unlikely that you are going to get sick. If you had measles in the past because you're of a certain age, you are probably not going to get sick again because you will still have immunity against it. The people who are most at risk are the people who are unvaccinated, who never had measles, or who only received 1 dose of the vaccine. And prior to 1996, many people, myself included, only got 1 dose of the vaccine when they were kids. And, there's been some discussion now about whether these people need a catch-up second dose or not. We haven't ever insisted on that from the public health standpoint because measles was essentially eliminated from Canada over 25 years ago. But if these things keep happening, it might become a question of saying, well, maybe these people do need a second dose just to give them that boost in immunity.
Okay, so, my first question would be, we got the measles vaccine as kids, and I can't remember back. I assume we all got them then because they were mandatory. If now as an adult, you only got, in your case, you said 1 shot, is it a good idea to go get a second shot because measles is starting to spread, or do you not have to worry?
So that is a question that has been debated a lot in the past couple of years. I did get a second dose because when I entered medical school, I had to because I was going to be in a high-risk profession. Because we're seeing more and more of these cases, if it was me, I would go out and get a second dose.
Okay.
I would go to my doctor, have the conversation. And you know what? I would just get the second dose. Now, if you had measles because you were, and the assumption is that if you were born prior to 1970, you probably had measles as a child. So in that case, and you had measles, you probably are still going to have some immunity, so you're okay there. The real danger is the people in that sort of gray zone that only got 1 dose as kids.
And I would guess if you were there with a child, for example, and your child is not fully vaccinated against measles, you should maybe, certainly if you were sitting or in that same area, you would want to do that right away?
Well, yeah, so if you've been infected, getting a vaccine now is probably not going to change anything because the virus is probably already inside you.
Okay.
The problem with the virus is that its incubation period can be as little as 6 days, but it can be as much as 21 days. So even if you were there and you don't feel sick, you might already be infected. You might only get symptoms now. So if you were one of those potentially exposed people and you're unvaccinated, I would, call 811, make yourself known to public health so they can do, their respective follow-up, and we'll see. Most cases of measles are mild, thankfully. Most people don't need any specific treatment, but there are sometimes severe cases, and that's when you need to know what's going on so you can go to the hospital and get the appropriate antiviral therapy.
Last question then. If you did contact measles, right, you're home, what are you going to see as symptoms? Same thing spotting kids do? Is there something different you might actually end up having?
So you will see the spotting, but that's not the first symptom. The first symptom is going to be sort of just nonspecific viral symptoms like fever, sore throat, muscle aches, and then the spots usually come out, and that's usually the classic sign. You're like, okay, this is measles. Okay.
Chris, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
My pleasure. Take
Dr.
care.
Chris Labos, there you go. Again, that's a warning for people who were there. Exposure to measles at the Bell Center March 3rd, a week ago, between 5:30 and midnight. Just keep that in mind if you were there and know someone who was.